section, Yisro. We continue with the second reading. Yisro, the father-in-law of Moshe, has come to be with the Jewish people. And the narrative continues, and his being there with the Jewish people in the desert. And today we see how he adds something to the Jewish people. Oh, let's go right into it. Okay. And it was in the day after, the following day, Moshe sat to judge the people, and they stood, the people, al Moshe, around Moshe, mina boiker there from morning till night. He was the judge, and they're coming to him for judgment, litigation, right? So he machars. What does it mean the next day? This is the day after Yom Kippur. This is the way it's learned in the Medrash Sifri. And what is meant the next day? And why is it called the next day and not the day which followed the events described in the previous verse? Right, the previous verse that they sat down and then broke and ate bread. They had a meal together, right? When Yisro came, and so Macharas Ridita Min Hahar. It is the day after Moshe descended from the mountain after he received the second set of tablets on Yom Kippur. So this is out of order, as we clearly see now, right? Because this is after the Torah was given, after Yom Kippur with the second set of tablets, the third 40 days that Moshe was on the mountain, right? Therefore, we're forced to admit that it's impossible to say the day after Yom Kippur. Because you can't say before the giving of the Torah. It's impossible to say. As we'll see in a couple of verses, that I made known my statutes. Well, how do you make known the statutes if the Torah wasn't given yet? Right? And from the time of the Torah was given until Yom Kippur, Moshe did not sit and judge the people. Why? Because on the 17th day on Tammuz, he descended from the mountain, broke the tablets after being on the mountain for 40 days. So he couldn't judge the people when he was on the mountain. And the following day, he ascended at early morning in the morning. It was 80 days rather, on the mountain. The area of Yom Kippur, and he descended Yom Kippur. So when it says here the day after, it means the day after Yom Kippur. Because this is the only time he could have judged the people. He could not have judged the people because he spent really 120 days on top of the mountain, and a part of a day with the people. And here it says from morning to night. Well, there wasn't even a time for that. And plus, he didn't get the Torah, so he couldn't judge the people if he didn't have the Torah's teachings in order to judge them. Okay, and as a result, obviously, this verse is not written chronologically. Right. Not written chronologically. When it's written the next day, it was not until the second year. Meaning, since the calendar year starts with Tishrei, and this was after Yom Kippur, right? And it's not before the giving of the Torah. After divrei ha'omer Yisro koydem matan Torah ba. So now there's a debate about when did Yisro actually come. So according to this, he came after the giving of the Torah, right? But there's an opinion that says he came before the giving of the Torah. After Ibrahim Yisro came before the giving of the Torah. He's being sent off to his land, which we'll see in was before the revelation of the Torah. Did not take place in the second year. For it says he sent him off back to his land. We find by the travel of the tribes with their flags. Sha'amar Loi Moshe, that Moshe said to Yisro, we are now traveling to the place. Please do not leave us. If this is incident of Jezreel's return in verse 27, which will come, it took place before the giving of the Torah. Then when Moshe sent off Yisro, and he had gone, where do we find in Torah that he returned in the second year that he stayed? Even if he'll say there, it doesn't say Yisro, but it says Chayvev. And Chayvev was Yisro's son. That can't be the case. Who Chayvev, who Yisro, because Chayvev is Yisro. Shari Kosuv, Mibnei Chayvev, Chaysen Meisha. It's written, the sons of Chayvev, the father-in-law of Meisha. Okay, I'm not going to go into the finer detail over here at this right now because it's too much. Okay, next Rashi. And Moshe stood and took care of the people, judging the people. He sat like a king. Moshe Kula, Ma'imdim, and all of them came before him for judgment, were standing. Right? And this matter disturbed Yisro. Because he felt Moshe was belittling the honor of the Jewish people. And he rebuked him for this. Why are you sitting alone while they all come to stand before you? In other words, they're standing there for a long time because you're the only one who's judging them. Right? So he rebuked him for that, as we will see. From morning till night, is it possible to say that Moshe possibly would be involved in nothing but judging the people the entire day? But this teaches us that any judge who renders a judgment that's true, even for a short while. Interesting, we're learning the laws of Sanhedrin and Rambam now, right? So he was there, the head of the court of law, and he was making judgment, right? So it doesn't mean literally from day to night, but someone who renders a true judgment as a judge, it's as if they were learning Torah, engaged in Torah study the entire day. As if he became a partner with God with the act of creation. And it says, and there was evening and there was morning. Wow, this needs a lot of looking into. Others, anyone who makes a proper judgment as a judge, it's as if they're a partner with God in creation. Because it says Boiker ad Erev. So and by creation it says by Erev there was night and there was day. And here, so there was day, there was night. In other words, wow, I got to see the Sikh on this. Fascinating. So it's like, a partner in creation. That's the point over here. Okay, very fascinating. Okay, 14. And he saw the father-in-law of Moshe as Kol Asher, who I say everything that Moshe is doing, la'am, to the people. But Yomer, ma hadavar hazeh, what is this thing? Asher ata isa, that you are doing, la'am, to the people. Madua ata yeshiv levadecha, why are you sitting alone? V'chol am nitzav alecha, and the entire people are surrounding you, from morning until night. It's interesting. Here it's from morning till night, again. Right? But Rashi told us it means, in other words, he's doing the judging all by himself. So Moshe said to his father-in-law, because the people are coming to me, to have the instruction of God. What's the law? Right? Rashi, the people are coming. Should be understood because the nation comes, as if it was in present tense. They come. Right? Lidrash Elikim, to seek God. Kitargum is understood according to Unkelis, the mitbat ilfan, to ask for instruction. Lishol Talmud mipi agura, to ask the teaching of the mouth of the Almighty. And they want to know what's God's law on this. Because when they have a matter, they come to me. And I make a judgment between a man and his friend. And I make known the laws of God and his teachings. Rashi in 16. Because when they have a matter, they come to me. He who has a claim comes to me. 17. So he said to him, the father-in-law of Moshe, to him, he said, this is not good what you're doing. So it doesn't even say his name, right? It just says the father-in-law of Moshe. So it's referring to him in an honorable way that he's the father-in-law of the king. Moshe is the king, and he's his father-in-law. So he continues and says, yeah, you're following? Good. Novelty bowl, where you will wear yourself. You're going to wear yourself out, in other words. Gam ata, you also. The gam ha'amazeh, also these people, asher imach, that are with you. Because this is a heavy load, too heavy a load for you. You can't do this alone. You're the judging alone. Rashi in 18, double tivo, where you shall be worn. Kitargum is understood according to Unkelis, as meaning it's an expression of withering. Lashon, Lashon, Kamiso, Kamisho, and in Old French, Flestre, Flester, Flest. Kamoi ve'ela novel, as in the phrase, and the leaf is withered. The leaf withers from the vine. Just giving other instances where we see that this word, which is the first time that we have it, means to be withered. Shu kamash al yedei chama ba'al yedei kerach. That's withered through the sun and through the frost. The gamata, you too, you as well, right? L'rabus Aaron. It's a little, he's speaking to him. So what do you mean you also? So here it means to include the Rabbas Aaron, to include the gam. It should just said, Ata, you're going to be worn out. Why also you? He also refers to Aaron, Chor, and the 70 elders. Kikaved, because this matter is too heavy for you. This matter of judging the entire people, right? Judgment after judgment is too great for your strength to bear. 19. But now, Shema, Caleb, listen to my voice. Listen to what I have to say. Right? He's saying, Yeah? Yatzcha, and I will give you advice. Vehi Elokim imach, and God will be with you. Ve'yata la'am, and you will be there for the people. Mul Elokim, right? Imach, Ve'yata la'am mul Elokim, and you will you be the people's representative before Hashem. Ve'yata is kol advarim Elokim, and God will and convey the cases to God. Okay, 19 in Rashi. Yes, I'll advise you, and may God be with you. In the advice, Amar la Yitzei Malach B'Gvura. So Yisro is telling him, go and take consult with the Almighty to see if what I'm giving you is sound advice, right? Hayata la'am Elokim. Thank you, thank you. And right, so and be with the people opposite God. Be an emissary and intermediary between them and God. And ask for judgments from God. As the matters, the disputes of the people. Vizarta, and be cautious. Eschem, concerning the people, right? Vizarta, Eshem, sorry, you will caution the people. Right, you will caution the people as a chukim regarding the rules, as a teres and the teachings. Lahem, and you'll let them know as a derech yelchu the path that they need to take in it, as a ma'aseh and the deed that they need to do. Ata sechazeh, and you will discern, you will see mikol ha'am among all of the people. Anshe chayil. What you have to do now is he's telling you got to choose other people to help you, right? So you got to anshe chayil. Um, um, so chayil means like a soldier usually. Chayal in the army, right, is a soldier, but here it means um, here it means. Like strong men. It's Rashi will actually say wealthy. Yirei Elokim, fearing of God, Ansheim is men that are truth. Seini Betza, that they hate money. There's Samta Aleihim, and you will place Samta Aleihim, and you place upon them Sare Alafim, leaders of thousands. Sare Meos, leaders of hundreds. Sare Chamishim, leaders of 15. Sare Asaras, and leaders of tens. Rashi in 21. Yeah, we're good. And you shall see with the Holy Spirit that's upon you, Anshe Chayil, you have to find men of Ashirim who are rich. Why they have to be rich? Because they don't need to be flattered or be recognized. You know, they don't have to play favorites in order that they should get something from people as judges, right? So that way they won't corrupt the judgment. Ansheim as men of truth. Ele balei haftacha. These are people inspire confidence. Shehem kedai lismech al dibrehem. That they're worthy that you can rely on their words. Right. Choose such men. In other words, shayidei kain hiu dibrehem nishmaim. Therefore, their words will be heeded. Seni betza. They despise money. Sheseni is badin. That they hate their money that is in litigation. Like one who says, it says in the Talmud, Kol Dayana de Mapikim Mine, Dayanahu. A judge for whom money is taken away through litigation is not a judge. In other words, if he has to go to litigation in order to save his money. So that's the way I understand it. It's not a judge. Sari alafim, leaders of thousands. Hey mahayu sheish meos sarim, sheish meos elef. These were 600 of these leaders of the 600,000 adult male Israelites. Right? 600 of them would be 600,000. So you have one leader for 1,000, in other words. One judge, right? Amen. Sorry, mayos, leaders of hundreds. Sheshes alafim. These were 6,000. Sorry, hamishim. These were shtemeser 12,000. Sorry, other sorries. Shishim alaf. These are 60,000. Fascinating. Okay, v'shavtu sa'am, and they should judge the people. B'choleis at all times. V'haya kol adavar agodol, and anything that was any issue that is godol, that's great, that's too difficult. Yavi alecha, they should bring it to you. Kol adavar hakotim, but anything that's small, yishpituhim, they should judge. Hakim alecha, that will take ease the burden upon you. But nasuita, because they will carry the burden with you, they'll share it with you. 22 in Rashi, the Shaftu, and they shall judge. If we understood according to the way Onkelos explains it, they do need Lashon Sivui, and they shall judge an imperative expression. Hakam alecha, and they will ease from upon you. Davar zeh lahakim alecha. So appointing judges as people is intended to ease the burden of judgment from upon you. V'hakel kamoi, hakel kavod avalibai, just showing that the phrase is used to mean to make lighter, to make easier. Cases mayab lashon hayvet. Final pasuk for today, last verse today, 23. Im and if this thing you will do, this is all Yisro, right? Telling to his son-in-law, to Moshe, if you will do this, right? And God commands as such to do, you'll be able to stand. In other words, you'll be able to bear the burden. Also this nation, they will come home unwearied. Right? Like, it's like in the emergency room, here in Montreal, right? That you can have you might wait 24 hours, right? For your emergency. You're worn out from that and you go home. So here you're going to have enough judges that they'll be able to deal with the smaller stuff. Rashi in 23, then God will command you, then you will be able to endure. Consult God, the Almighty. If He commands you to do as I just recommended, then you'll be able to stand and withhold and withstand every, all your work. But if God will prevent you, and you will not be able to stand. This entire people are likewise are another vishings came in Anilim Ata Imach. So it will include Aaron, your brother, and other Vioi, your nephews, the 70 elders that became worn out, now with you. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And this is a suggestion that is accepted by God, as we will learn tomorrow. Okay. See you by Tanya shortly. Thank you, folks.